The red-hot Jacoby Ellsbury in center field will lead off, batting second. In left field, Chris Young. Alex Rodriguez, the DH, will hit third. Cleaning up first baseman Mark Teixeira. Brian McCann will catch. He'll bat fifth. The number 6 hitter, right fielder Carlos Beltran. Chase Headley's at third base. He'll bat seventh. Batting eighth, playing shortstop tonight, Stephen Drew. And just coming off the DL, Jose Perella will be at second base, and he will bat ninth.
Now the veteran left-hander Mark Burley, the 36-year-old left-hander from St. Charles, Missouri. He was a 38th round draft pick in 1998 by the Chicago White Sox. You see his numbers not very good. The big thing that just sticks out there is the 47 hits in the 28 innings. Let's take a look at the pitcher's scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. Not good against the Bombers. We showed in the open 1-14 with an ERA of 6.21 in 21 career starts. Way too many base runners. I said the 47 hits, 54 base runners in the 28 innings. An innings eater every year for 14 years in a row. He's had over 200 plus innings. He hasn't missed a start in his career, and having over 30 plus starts since 2001. This guy works fast. He throws strikes, puts the ball in play.
Al mentioned 1-14 against the Yankees lifetime. In his last 17 starts against them, he's 0-12. And he's also had a lead in a lot of those games, which makes it even more unusual. Ellsbury's ready. Burley's ready. Let's do it in Toronto. And the first pitch is a strike, and we are underway. Home plate umpires Toby Basner, Dana DeMuth at first, Mike Estabrook at second, Ed Hickox is the third base ump. So Burley, who works quickly, jumps ahead 0-2.
You mentioned about as hot as Ellsbury's been in the last this 8-game hitting streak, 18 for 35, 514 batting average. That is hot. I really like how just up the middle of the field. Yesterday he had a ball the opposite way, actually on a Marco Estrada balk, staying up the middle.
And Burley gets him on strikes. One away. Why don't we check out the Blue Jays defense, which is presented by Geico. In the outfield, it's Colabello, Pilar, and Ezequiel Carrera. That's left to right. Infield, Donaldson, Goins, Travis, and Encarnacion third to first. Veteran Russell Martin behind the plate, and Mark Burley is on the mound. So here's Chris Young as Brett Gardner gets the night off because of a little bit of a stiff neck. And Joe had also said coming into the series he wanted to give everybody at least one day off on the turf. The only guy who didn't get the day off was Ellsbury. Hard to take him out of the lineup. And that one is ripped foul. Quickly ahead in the count 0-2.
Different turf up here, Michael. They have a new AstroTurf, very slow. We've seen in these already the 2 games of this series. Ball hit. Hard to get to the outfield, slowing the ball down in the infield. Normally AstroTurf is fast. You see a ball scoot through the infield. Not the turf here at Rogers Center.
Line drive, a base hit to left field. Colabello cuts it off. Young makes a big turn, but he'll stop at first. Now that's a perfect example of what Al's talking about. In years past, there's no way that ball's cut off. He hit it so hard. But it slowed down and allowed Colabello to get to it.
You know, and it's small little things in the game that, just as you described, Michael, this ball would have gone to the wall. It is slow. It's a lot of rubber product in this turf. You see this ball here. That was scolded. One hop and just kind of dies. Colabello does a nice job. Chris Young aggressively turning first base, but realizing that smart move to stay at first.
Rodriguez rips one to left field. It is a base hit. That one does get to the wall. Young will go to third. Alex goes to second with a double. And the Yankees are set up second and third with one out.
Well, Alex jumping on the first pitch. Said that Burley's going to throw strikes. A little curveball breaking into Alex's bat. I believe Colabello had to concede Chris Young getting to third easily. Had he thrown to second base, that would have been an interesting close play, getting possibly Alex Rodriguez.
So here is Mark Teixeira. 2 hits in his last 21 at bats, but did have that long home run yesterday. Count 1-0. Average not where he wants it to be at 205, but the production numbers 10 and 22. He'll take that. Grounded right side. A run will score. The flip to Burley. They get Teixeira, RBI number 23. A-Rod moves to third. Yankees have a run.
Yeah, productive out. Hit the ball to the right side, less than 2 outs, runner at third base, you're going to get an RBI.
And that will bring up Brian McCann. The Blue Jays shift, 3 infielders on the right side. Look at the numbers against Burley. That just jumps off the page at you. 11 for 27. Now the thought coming into the season, start lefties against the Yankees. That'll slow them down, but they have not been affected by lefties at all. The Yankee left-handed batters have a combined .331 batting average against left-handed pitchers this year. Ellsbury coming into the game .419 against lefties. Brett Gardner .400. And that even affects the way managers work out of the bullpen. You can't bring that lefty in and think they're going to get a couple of guys in a row. Grounded foul. Now they will, but you might not be able to neutralize it.
You know, when I hear those stats that you're saying, Michael, I think of left-handers, how they get a bum rap on not being able to quote-unquote hit left-handers. And you give left-handers that have the ability to stay on the baseball, like an Ellsbury, like what Gardner's done, they're batting over 400 plus.
Punched out to the left side, and Donaldson makes the play for the final out of the inning. But the Yankees get a run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. Yankees won, and the Blue Jays coming to bat against CC. Second baseman leads off. Josh Donaldson at third will bat second. The number 3 hitter is the DH Jose Bautista. Edwin Encarnacion at first will clean up. Batting fifth and catching, Russell Martin. Kevin Pillar in center field hit 6th. The number 7 hitter, left fielder Chris Colabello. Ryan Goins, the shortstop, will bat 8th and batting 9th. And playing right field, Ezequiel Carrera.
CC Sabathia, the 34-year-old left-hander from Vallejo, California. First-round draft pick, 1998 by the Cleveland Indians. You see his numbers. I mentioned in the open his last start against the Boston Red Sox was a good one. I believe both sides of the plate, uses fastball and his breaking ball. He's very effective. Let's take a look at the pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. Oh, Canada, unlike Mark Burley, he's done very well against the Blue Jays. 15-5 with a 3.25 all-time against the Blue Jays in his pitching career. Uses all his pitches. He is no longer the dominant fastball slider guy. He'll throw a fastball, cutter, curveball, slider, changeup. Changeup 21% of the time this year, and it's been a while. You mentioned it, Michael, at the Open. He hasn't had a victory since April 24th, next to his name, of 2014. In that time, he's 0-6 with a 5.70 ERA.
In 8 starts.
In 8 starts. He's due. But in defense of CC, in 3 of his 5 starts this year, he's received only 1 run while he's in the game, a 2.27 runs per 9. Not very good.
There's a strike.
91. That's a tick up.
Now, the roof is open now, but if you take a look at CC right now, his uniform top is absolutely drenched at this moment. I don't know if he doused himself with water or if it's really, really hot. When the roof is closed, it's hot in here. It doesn't feel hot right now.
Humid. And you know what? I don't know his warm-up routine.
Pirela gets a chance right away and makes the play to get Travis. Why don't we take a look at the Yankees defense behind CC. In the outfield, you've got Young in left, Ellsbury in center, and Beltran in right. Infield, Headley at third, Drew at short tonight. Pirela just off the DL at second. Teixeira at first. McCann behind the plate, and Karsten Charles Sabathia is on the mound.
It's humid, and I would say this, and I've said this often, and I changed the way I warmed up before a game because of the amount of bullets a starting pitcher throws prior to 7:05. And some guys, I was one of them, that would throw 60-plus pitches down there. So think of that, Michael. If you time it as a starter, we see it often every night, where it's a 7:05 game, you'll see a guy go down there a quarter of 7, starts throwing a 10 of, and walks down like literally 2 or 3 minutes prior to when the umpires come out. That's a lot of heaves in 10 minutes. Throws.
Now, how much effort goes into those warm-ups?
It depends on who you are. Mark Burley, he's a field guy. He's going to just touch, hit spots. CC, even though CC is now throwing 88 to 90, and I guess I say only because CC was a guy that threw 95 or better, I would think he gets after it. I'm a bad example because I was a max effort guy, so everything I did was just, accelerator to the floorboard. And it helped me when I see starting pitchers that struggle in the first inning. The first thing that I ask them is, when do you start warming up? Give yourself some time to get in the clubhouse, change your jersey, change your shirt. It helped me.
Swing and a miss. Donaldson down on strikes. Well, let's look at the official game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. 67 degrees, not much wind. Humidity is 31%, and it's clear out.
Yeah, this right here, this is a nasty slider. Watch this, Josh Donaldson. He was late on a fastball. This has like curveball break to it. Very good hitter, Josh Donaldson. That was a nice breaking ball in the dirt. Expand the zone when you get ahead.
Bautista takes outside from CC. Got a 5-game hitting streak, 7 hits and 20 at-bats, hitting .205. Yankees playing to pull in the infield. In the outfield, more straight away. Boy, he has had very little success against Sabathia. 3 for 29.
Nice. Throws a 92-mile-an-hour. That was 92 of the previous pitch. This is a changeup. Actually, backdoor breaking ball. Wow. 2-0 count to a guy that can hit it out of Yellowstone. That's a good pitch. That's pitching right there. Not just throw a 2-0 fastball away and another one. Really good. This is the unpredictable nature that when a guy's not throwing with plus velocity, these are the things that good pitchers do. Gets behind 2-0, throws a curveball, gets in the count, and another one. He can go 2 different places. Lock him up inside, elevate fastball with that same pitch in the dirt.
Tried to go 3 in a row, missed, and the count now full. Encarnacion on deck.
Bautista, prolific home run hitter, does not get off the fastball.
Yankees up 1-0. We're in the bottom of the first. The pitch. 93 for Sabathia, and it's foul back.
Heating up. Of his velocities, and everything's charted now, as you know, Michael. His first start, his average velocity on April 9th was 88.4 miles an hour. You know what it was in Boston? 89.4. He's gone up an average of 1 mile per hour in the 5 starts.
3-2. Oh, with the breaking ball missed outside to walk Bautista. I think he might have been scared off the fastball the way that was fouled straight back.
I'm with you. That was a good look. Batista's struggling right now, but this guy is, wow, from that angle looked like backdoor. Now this is a little slight left center angle. Ooh. Obi Basner, home plate umpire, might have missed that one.
Encarnacion takes a fastball up and away. Just underway here in Toronto. Along with Al Leiter and Meredith Morakovitz, I'm Michael Kay. We thank you for tuning in to Yankees baseball tonight on Yes. Rubber game of this 3-game set. Two and 0.
Don't give in here. Encarnacion, he's had a lot of success against the Yankees.
Hammered foul.
The managing of a lineup, even though it's early in the game, you know, that pitch right there, not giving in. CC Sabathia throws a 2-0 changeup. That's why Encarnacion was way out front.
The 2-1. 3-1. Russell Martin on deck. Most of the right side of the infield open for Encarnacion to 3-1. And he walked. Well, these two guys have matched up 11 times head-to-head in games. CC 6-0, 3.23. Mark Buehrle 0-6, 6.49. Last time they met was 2009. So that's going up against each other quite a bit. It was mostly White Sox, Cleveland. What pitchers did you go up against the most, Al?
I'm going to say it's probably the Braves. Somebody down there. Paddock, Smoltz, or some Glavine.
Glavine and Hampton. You faced them 8 times apiece.
Hampton?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Astros, and then he went to the Braves. Yeah.
It would have been a lot more if he didn't fall in love with the Colorado school system. He would have met him more.
He got hammered for that, didn't he?
Should have just said, you know what, they're helping me the most money. That's why I went.
That would have gone over better.
Of course. Yeah. School system. First and second, 2 outs. Russell Martin at the plate. 1-1 count. Now 1-2.
Well, only 9 at bats Russell Martin has against CC Sabathia, 1 for 9. And these are the type of things, and I know it'll increase the pitch count when you see a pitcher, CC Sabathia, kind of pitching around guys. You get behind the count, you know, throw backwards, but this is how you manage lineups and you pitch. This is using all your pitches in your repertoire.
Bautista at second, Encarnacion at first. McCann trying to get CC through the bottom of the inning. 1-2. Again, a good fastball, but misses inside. 2-2.
I always see this as an action ball with 2 outs. You don't want to go 3-2. It's going to release the runners. He's thrown and shown early. No, he's only 25 pitches in it. A backdoor curveball.
Strike three. Got him with the fastball on the inside part of the plate. No runs, no hits, 2 walks, and 2 men left. We played 1 in Toronto. It's 1-0 Yanks. Of the Yankees. We started the conversation with this. What do you think of the mustache craze sweeping its way through the Yankees clubhouse? And Score Raider said they began around the same time the team turned things around. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Camry Hybrid to keep the conversation going. Did you hear what Joe Girardi said yesterday? He told Brett Gardner that if we win 10 in a row, then I'll join in. And that one is hammered foul.
He wants 10 more in a row?
He said you win 10 in a row. He said on the Joe Girardi show with Meredith Marakovitz that if they won 10 in a row, he told Gardy, then I'll join in.
14-4 in the last 18.
He needs 10 in a row. That one is looped into center field, caught by Pilar, and Beltran's retired. So many people have asked me this over the time that they've started to grow the mustache, and questions on Twitter as well. I thought the Yankees had a rule, no facial hair. No, they don't. They have a rule, no hair below the lip. I mean, Thurman Munson, Goose Gossage, Don Mattingly, to name a few, had mustaches. Sparky Lyle. Guidry. And I was interviewing Pedro Martinez yesterday, who has a book out, and he revealed, as that one's tapped back to Burley to retire Headley, that he met with George Steinbrenner and was going to sign with the Yankees in 2004, but he had promised Omar Minaya the chance to match any offer, but he was seriously considering signing with the Yankees, and he's sitting in the office with George Steinbrenner, and George said to him, I just have to have your word on one thing. If we work something out, you've got to cut your hair and play for this team. And Pedro goes, boss, you're my boss. If I sign with you, I will do whatever you want. You want me to cut the hair? It will be cut. There's no problem whatsoever. And George said, well, if we can work this out, that's great then. So even back then, that was significant. He ended up signing with the Mets. Yeah. And then he said the Yankees actually looked into signing him again in 2009 when he ended up signing with the Phillies. And the last game he ever pitched, Game 6 of the World Series against the Yankees.
Yeah, the Phillies, right?
Yeah. There's a strike to Stephen Drew. The 3-1. You think a lot of Burley's success in his career comes from working this quickly?
No question about it. Look, he gives up hits, doesn't care. I mean, of course, he would love to throw. He's got no energy.
He's got a perfect game.
A perfect game. Just your defense is on. They're on their toes. It's fast.
and the hitters don't have that much time to think. Yankees go down in order. We go to the bottom of the second, 1-0 Yanks.
Report brought to you by Montefiore Medical Center, Montefiore-inspired medicine. Gregorio Petit was placed on the 15-day DL earlier today with a hand contusion. If you remember back to last night's game, he was hit in the hand, remained in the game, but later came out. As a result, Jose Perella activated when he was placed on the DL. Also, Brett Gardner day-to-day with a little bit of neck stiffness. It actually happened yesterday when he slid into second base on a double in the first inning. He felt it for the first time then. As the game went on, that neck tightened up a little bit. Joe Girardi said nothing major, guys, but wanted to give him the evening off just to make sure that it didn't turn into something.
A bunt by Pilar, and that is a base hit. As CeCe got off the mound, but Pilar's too quick. And by the time CeCe threw the ball to first base, it was a base hit.
Perfect bunt. You see Pilar pulling up halfway through CeCe's delivery, pushes it to the right side. CeCe's delivery falling off slightly toward third base. Perfect bunt.
Here's Colabello, who was called up yesterday. He was 2 for 4. He hit .337 at AAA Buffalo. That was in 18 games. There's a base hit inside third and down the left field line. Pilar motoring toward third. He's going to be held up there. And Colabello picks up a double, second and third, nobody out.
Well, Colabello, you can see where Headley was playing off the line. The scout report not really a whole lot on a guy that was in AAA. Kind of a good story. Chris Colabello spent 10 years in the minor leagues. Chris Young getting the ball quickly. Luis Rivera, third base coach, hold him up. Nobody out, second and third.
Colabello called up yesterday, as I mentioned. Didn't have much time to find a place, so he just stayed at the hotel here at Rogers Center. Didn't have a long trip to work. Here's Ryan Goins. Yankees in on the corners, back at shortstop and second. Didn't Roberto Alomar live there year-round?
In the hotel?
Yeah.
Off and on. I think one of the years he did. I know Roger Clemens lived there one year. A few players.
Lined right at Headley. One away.
Wow. Hot smash, hot corner. Chase Headley. Ryan Goins nailed it. Just right where Headley was standing. Not a whole lot of reaction time. Good play.
Here's Ezekiel Carrera. Again, the Yankees in at third and first. Grounded foul.
I mean, as a pitcher here, you're not obviously early in the game. You're not thinking, you know, to have hitters directed where they're going to hit it. The middle of the infield is conceding the run. Now it's a different story. You got second and third. You just give up a hot smash. You kind of get lucky with the line drive to third base. You see Teixeira backing up. Bunt's not in play. CC Sabathia's got two pitches here. You bury two breaking balls in the dirt. You trust the fact that Brian McCann's going to block it. And you're thinking strikeout.
And that's what he did on the first one, so the count 1-2.
I'd do it again. Take advantage of a young hitter, Ezekiel Carrera, also up from Buffalo AAA. Preservation of that run at third base, less than 2 outs.
One-run scores, sending home Colabello. Here's the throw. It's cut off by Teixeira. Two-run single for Carrera, and it's 2-1 Blue Jays.
Well, I believe it was the right pitch. It was just a little bit higher. You see Jose Perella making a nice effort. Again, this turf is so slow. Chris Colabello is able to score easily from second base. Watch a curveball. I think it's down. You see where McCann wants it. He ends up just high enough for Carrera to do a nice job getting the bat on the ball, scooting it past Perella.
Here's Devin Travis, grounded to second in the first. And a strike. So 2-1. Blue Jays over the Yankees. We're in the bottom of the second. Oh, 2.
Wow, has to sink.
Let's see if this is 2. There's 1. And there's 2. Doubling up to Speedy Travis. 6-4-3 to end the inning. But the Blue Jays take the lead. 2 runs on 3 hits. Nobody left on base. Let's go to the third. It was of the 6-4-3 variety. And Jose Pirela will lead off. Now, because Pirela is new and Drew hasn't played that much shortstop, they were working on that during BP today. That very play. Where was he going to be? There's Joe Espada. This is where the ball's going to be. And practice makes perfect in the game. And there's a strike to Pirela.
Seeing Joe Espada, middle infielders, you think it's just easy to transition short to second. It's really not. I mean, the transfer is completely different. As a shortstop, you're coming into the runner, and second baseman, it's kind of a blind view. Pirela, most of his career in the minor leagues, Michael, he's played shortstop.
That one is hit into left center field. It's going to dunk in for a base hit. Pilar cuts it off. Pirela's going for two. He's in there. Funky slide got him in there. Gutsy play by Pirela. He's running hard out of the box and picks up a double.
Well, I'll tell you, when I saw Chris Colabella kind of just take the wrong route, you see where Kevin Pillar, this guy's a highlight reel, excellent outfielder, cuts it off. I thought there was no shot for this to be a close play. Pirela had to hustle in. Bang, bang. Nice play by Pillar and nice slide by Pirela. He got in there. Great vantage point for Dana DeMuth.
Looks like they're stalling on the mound to give their team a chance to look at a replay and maybe challenge. So Pirela, who was out with a concussion, gets his first at bat, and you can clearly see his hand get in ahead of the tag by Travis.
And Mike Estabrook is the second base. You can't get in a better vantage point or position than Mike Estabrook, the umpire.
So Pirela leads off second. 1-0 to Ellsbury. The Audi A3 scoreboard shows the Blue Jays up 2-1. Al, you're right, though. That was a very odd route, that Colabella. He was nowhere close to that.
Yeah, I don't know if he picked it up. There's twilight here in the stands, and he just took the wrong route.
Oh, they have Pirela hung up. Nice play by Burley, and Pirela is tagged out. That ball gets through. Pirela gets the third.
Yeah, it's a bad base running error. You got to let it get past the pitcher. And I know it's hard. A runner at second base is going to get an aggressive secondary lead, sees the ball off the bat, it's on the ground. You got to let it get past the pitcher. We saw a similar thing. Alex Rodriguez was hung out to dry, but it was really because of the shift.
So he's out at third, 1-6-5. Now Ellsbury's at first with Chris Young at the plate. Popped up, middle of the infield. Goins calls everybody off for the second out. So here is Alex Rodriguez, who is tied with Willie Mays on the all-time home run list with 660, fourth place. And Willie celebrating a birthday today, his 84th. Willie was very gracious through the Giants. They tweeted out his response that milestones are made to be broken. Those are his words, and that was when Alex tied him with the home run in Boston. So one more and Alex moves ahead of Willie. A-Rod had a double in the first inning. Staying inside 3-0.
Does he swing?
He did in Boston.
Yes, he did.
Alex thought that was ball 4.
He had some cutters from Burley, and you see paint outside corner. Good call. And Toby Bazner. See, the ball was cutting in 3 previous ones. You see Alex looking in, the ball away.
Alex not making friends with Toby Bazner.
You know why? And Alex, when there were 3 pitches prior to that were in. When the pitchers do that, this outside corner looks like it's a foot outside. I mean, you can see from that overhead. That's a good call and a strike on the outside corner. A pitcher's pitch.
Ellsbury will go 3-2, 2 outs. Foul back.
Well, that's the just missed it. Anytime a hitter gets it straight back, his timing was perfect. Now he's trying to come inside with that cutter as he did the 3 previous ones. He just missed it. Just slightly underneath it.
Right back to Burley. So he remains tied with Willie Mays at 660. Happy birthday to the Say Hey Kid. Remember this catch? One of the best ever. Amazing. Pest control down to a science by Heineken. Open your world. And by McDonald's. I'm loving it. Wow, are those people on top of the CN Tower outside? Oh my goodness.
You couldn't do that?
Oh, I think I could do it.
Have you been up there?
No, I have not. But I mean, they're not safe. They got harnesses on.
Oh, well, that's what they do. They clean the windows.
I think it's an adventure thing.
Oh. Forget that. You haven't been up there?
No, I have not. It's called the Edge Walk. Audi A3 scoreboard, 2-1 Blue Jays. I think it's $175 in Canadian to do it. So I have to pay to be petrified.
There's no chance. Zero. Oh, gosh.
You wouldn't do it, right, Al?
No, they have this glass that
right,
you just stand on top, right. And that's frightening enough.
But it's safe.
Yeah.
Donaldson, Bautista, and Encarnacion here in the bottom of the third. 2-1. Blue Jays lead the Yanks. And the 2-2. Let's see if there's room. And there is. Teixeira leans over into where the photographers stand for the first out.
You do not see that in any other stadium other than the Oakland Coliseum or the whatever they call it now.
O.co.
O.co. Thank you. This is there's a look at all the foul territory here. There, the new stadiums, all the fans are up close. Nice catch by Mark Teixeira.
So Donaldson's used to that because he played.
That's right.
Oakland. Here's Bautista, who walked in the first inning. And the pitch. Grounded foul.
Now, unlike the previous at bat against Bautista, where he pitched around him enough to where he got in bad count, CC did, and walked him. He's ahead in the count. Bautista's a fastball hitter.
Broke his bat. And a pop-up. Perella makes the play.
It's a changeup. Look, see the grip right there. The ball that just fades away. Beautiful. You see how Bautista's hips are all gone. He's looking fastball. The ball stays away off the end of the bat. Shatters his bat. Good pitch.
Here's Encarnacion. He walked in the first inning. One and 0. So far this year against the Yankees, and this is his 6th game, .350 for Encarnacion. 7 hits, 2 home runs, 4 ribbies.
That's a healthy cut right there. 2-0. CC's just saying, here it is, hit it. Watch this ball. This is a fastball down the middle to a guy that's starting to heat up a little bit. Don't throw that one again. What's this? You mentioned this year numbers in Encarnacion. Since the start of last year, Michael, the 20 games against the Yankees, he's right at about the same numbers. .355 batting average with 5 home runs, 11 RBIs. He's done some damage against the Yankees.
Grounded to Headley. Across the diamond, a 1-2-3 inning for CC. Well, the Edgewalkers are still up there on the CN Tower. You know, you could do a wedding up there for $6,000. Invite up to 8 people. Enjoy. like no other. For a store near you, go to BenjaminMoore.com. All right, we go to the fourth inning. Mark Teixeira will lead off. And he swings at the first pitch and grounds it up the middle for a base hit. Let's check out the Honda League leaders, and we look at the home run list. And Mark did move up on that one, but he's in second place behind Nelson Cruz. Cruz has 14 for Seattle as they signed him to a free agent contract. Teixeira 10, Hanley Ramirez 10, and Gonzalez and Frazier are tied at 9.
Just a measly single. How about
he doesn't
that?
have a lot of those this year. Lincoln scoreboard 2-1 Blue Jays.
He's got 19 hits, Michael. 10 home runs, 5 doubles. So 15 of them are extra base hits. 4 singles.
McCann, high fly ball, right center. Carrera, called off by Pilar. And that's the first out. Some center fielders have so much range that they're going to get everything, and they have the right to everything.
Yeah, with that much hang time, your center fielder has it. He's the field general out there.
I read a story where Juan Lagares of the Mets covers so much ground that Michael Kadire, who plays left, if just a normal fly ball to left field, he calls, I got it. Because this guy could just show up in normal left field and make the play easily.
Gosh, how valuable that is, Michael. I think of, as you're telling that story, over the years of as great as the Atlanta Brave pitching staff was when Andrew Jones was in his prime. You talk about covering from left center to right center, as good as anybody. And I had a good one here for a few years with Devon White. I mean, it just your corner outfielders can pinch and cover the lines, even if you don't have speed burners on the corner. The amount of outs that are hits that are outs because of a superior center fielder saves numerous runs. Now, if they show that, now you can normally just get your right fielder in and pinch on the line, the same with your left fielder, and just let your center fielder do his thing.
Look at that great Orioles staff in the early 70s. That Paul Blair out there.
Yep.
Just run it down.
Mickey Rivers?
Yeah. Pilar gets an easy chance now to retire Beltran. 2-away. Follow the New York Yankees all season in 2015 with MLB.com At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment and at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com At Bat for your smartphone or tablet today. Here's Chase Headley. And he grounds one to third. Donaldson gets a nice hop across the diamond, and that will do it. The leadoff single is wasted. Yankees strand one. We go to the bottom of the fourth. 2-1 Blue Jays. take on the Rangers. Prior to the game, the Yankees will celebrate the career of four-time world champion Bernie Williams with a special ceremony where the Yankees will retire his number 51 and dedicate a plaque in historic Monument Park. For tickets, visit Yankees.com or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. All right, Russell Martin leads off here in the bottom of the fourth inning. And he shows bunt, takes inside. Now, CC is shown with the bad right knee, which has been highly publicized. It's hard for him to get around. You see the Lincoln scoreboard, 2-1 Blue Jays, and you wonder, are teams going to start bunting on him? We've already seen one bunt, and that started the 2-run inning when Kevin Pillar laid down a bunt. Looks like Martin's committed to it. Shows bunt again, takes a strike.
Well, I mean, it'd have to be a perfect bunt. Yeah, Kevin Pillar is a faster runner than Russell Martin. Good curveball right there in a 1-0 count. But you see where Headley is. He's respecting and honor to the fact of what you just said, Michael, that if teams are going to start trying to make CC move, and it's not a bad idea, but that bunt would have to be perfect because Headley and Teixeira is ready. Now, like Pillar, push bunt to the right side, a lot different because now you have Teixeira having to field it or CC. Now, you know, this right here, your third baseman's ready. He's got it. You roll one in here. Now, CC's got to field it or Teixeira. Now it becomes a foot race between CC and a base runner.
A lot of bugs flying around tonight. Not quite at the midge level, but you see players swatting them away from their face. Martin, Pillar, and Colabello.
CC's throwing a good fastball tonight. I said earlier in the game, average fastball his first game was 88.4. His last almost 89. And tonight, how many 92, 93s have we seen? I've seen 2 93s and several 92 mile an hour. And I bring that up because CC Sabathia, if he gets greater separation between his fastball and then his secondary pitches, curveball, slider, change, a lot harder to hit.
Hit CC and Karam's out toward Pirela. Martin has a hit. Let's see if CC's okay. He's waving off the Yankee bench to say don't come out. But a hot shot up the middle.
Oh, that is a line drive. Now CC spins off a little bit, hits him right in the rear end. I mean, there's such little reaction time. This ball, I don't know, 90 plus. There's no chance. And look, he's not even square to home plate. It's scary when balls come back at pitchers as quickly as it is. You see CC immediately telling Steve Donahue, no, I'm fine.
Pillar hits one to right center. Drifting over is Ellsbury and makes the play. Tagging is Martin, but he's just bluffing to draw the throw, which he does.
Well, Yankee fans remember Russell Martin. You talk about gamer intensity. One of the reasons why that the Blue Jays signed him to a 5-year deal. Canadian.
There's a balk. Well, second balk in as many nights. Now, we had a balk last night that was really odd. Let's take a look at what CeCe did right here.
Well, it's probably a start-stop. He gets his sign. All right. Oh, wow. Very slight. Toby Basner, the home plate umpire, calling the balk. You have to have a consistent set. Can't start and stop or pause and then move again. Get your sign, come set. You can't move until you either throw over, step off, or start your delivery home.
Line drive, a base hit to left center field. Young Fields scoring is Martin. It's an RBI single for Colabello. It's 3-1 Blue Jays, and that's a costly ball.
Yeah, well, that is, the balk. You see Russell Martin. I'll tell you, the ball kicks out there because Russell Martin had to back up. I think if he barely got to third base when Chris Young had that ball. You see Luis Rivera waving him home. Watch here. He freezes, goes back, making sure that Gregorius or Ryan doesn't catch, or Stephen Drew doesn't catch it. He's faster than most catchers.
Goins fouls it back, 0-2. Taps softly to Pirella. He gets Goins as Colabello moves to second. Yesterday's balk, we were asking about it because it was a balk. The umpire called balk, and then Ellsbury swung at the pitch and got a base hit. Yeah, here it is.
Marco Estrada comes set. Umpire calls balk. Ed Hickok's the home plate umpire. Says balk, and now Ellsbury, you have a free pass. It's still a live ball. Anything positive goes to the hitter. And I'll tell you what, Michael, the confusing part, and I've had several balks in my career, every time, never had an incident where a hitter actually swung. Stop, step off, doesn't swing.
And Al did an informal survey and went next door to Buck Martinez, a manager and a player and a broadcaster forever. Yep. Said he's never seen a base hit on a balk because usually the pitcher just stops or the hitter steps out.
It's kind of a startling moment for everybody. The umpire makes it clear. They yell it loudly, and often, either A, the pitcher doesn't throw it, there's Buck Martinez, or hitters just step out or not swing.
High fly ball, right field. Beltran's there and puts it away for the final out. 1 run on 2 hits, a balk, and 1 man left. We played 4, 3-1 Blue Jays. Yankees and the Orioles 3.5. Red Sox 4. Blue Jays 4.5. It's going to be bunts like that, I think, all year. No one's running away with it, and I don't think anybody's going to drop out of it. Pitch to Drew is a strike. Bigelow T scoreboard 3-1 Blue Jays here in the 5th. Caught there by Encarnacion for the first out. Let's go back to Bob Lorenz in the studio for another update. Bob, I think he's going to be gone for a lot longer than that game. You don't touch umpires, and that was clearly a chess ball.
Oh, that's going to they don't mess around. You touch umpires, that sets a precedent. That's going to be more than 5 days for sure.
I mean, you really can't put yourself in the heat of battle. You could, Al, but I mean, you got to know that doing that's going to get you in trouble.
No question about it. There was an incident we talked yesterday about at Fenway Park with Brooke Jacoby, the hitting coach for the Blue Jays, who's suspended for 14 days because of some sort of incident down the runway
after the game.
After the game that umpires and the visiting team share going to the clubhouse.
And that's, their own personal accounts of it. But if Major League Baseball wants Bob to send the tape, he will. There's a tape that Bob has that shows that he bumped him in full view of everybody. It's strange. And Votto's so important to the Reds. The 3-2. Grounded up the middle and threw for a base hit. So Pirela is 2 for 2. Jose was making the team in spring training. He really was. He played very well. And the Yankees were trying to make him that super utility guy who could play the outfield and the infield. They had him in center field against the Mets at Tradition Field in Port St. Lucie. Chased down a ball in center, ran into the wall, then kind of whiplashed his head back onto the field. And he was out for a while with a concussion, so that's why he did not break camp with the team. But once he was ready to go, he got called up, and making the most of it, he's 2 for 2. Meredith, you have more on that, right?
Well, Michael, when you say it's been a while, it's been 45 days since he's been diagnosed with that concussion. And I caught up with him yesterday, and he said that really scared him because he had a concussion 2 years ago. And when you're dizzy and you don't know exactly when you're going to be able to come back, it makes you think about things a little bit. If you break a hand or you break a leg, there's usually a time frame where you're going to make it back. But with a concussion, you never really know. So it was a bit of a process for him. He told me about 3 weeks ago he started to feel like his old self. And then it just took him a little while to get comfortable in the batter's box, get some at-bats, and get to where he was when he was playing well during spring training.
I'll tell you what, though, if he can hit the way he has in his first 2 at-bats, let me give you a stat which would indicate that he'll be in there. Yankees second baseman and shortstops have combined for a 189 batting average with only 16 runs scored this year. Only the Diamondbacks at 174 have a lower batting average from those 2 positions.
Yeah, and Michael, he can hit. In the minor leagues last year, in 535 at bats, he batted .305 for Scranton Wilkes-Barre. The year before, 2012, .293. Can steal bags. One year he had 30 stolen bases in Tampa.
Ellsbury with a fly ball to shallow center. Coming on is Pilar. It's going to drop in for a base hit as Pirela played it smartly, halfway, a little bit more than halfway. And gets to second as Ellsbury, with that bloop single, now has a 9-game hitting streak.
Yeah, as good as Kevin Pillar. This is a great view as to what kind of jump he has. He steps back. This is a big swing, ends up hitting a little pop-up. Pilar misread it off the bat. Should have been an out. I mean, Pilar is such a good outfielder. Went in the wrong direction, and nice job by Pirela reading it right. Could have been an easy force. As soon as Pilar took 2 steps back with Pirela's speed, forget it.
Blocked by Martin as Young goes to 1-0.
If the Yankees could capitalize on a mistake, a misplayed ball by a very good center fielder.
Now, we told you about all the losses that Burley has against the Yankees. He's 0-12 in his last 17 starts against them. But in 9 of those games, he actually had a lead. So it's not like he gets blown out right away. The Yankees catch up to him. And they catch up to him in a big way because the ERA is 6.21 against the Yanks. But 9 leads and blown them all. 3-0. Swinging and fouling it back.
Well, you talk about run support. He's got the highest run support this year, Michael. Mark Burley's got 11.89 runs per 9 in his starts. Most of any starting pitcher in baseball.
And the payoff. Strike 3. Young down looking.
Right, you see the changeup grip. You know, even though he doesn't throw hard, he's got good arm speed that looks like a fastball, looks like a meaty pitch for Chris Young to swing at or at least protect. That ball had a little cut at the end. Toby Basner ringing him up. Just couldn't pull the trigger.
Here's A-Rod. Liam Hendricks is up for the Blue Jays in their bullpen, right-hander. Two and 0, Alex. Yankees down 3-1. We're in the 5th. With Teixeira on deck.
Well, Alex had a 3-0 count in his last at bat. Ended up taking a strike and a little squibber back to the pitcher. Does he swing?
He waited that time for Basher to say ball 4. So now the bases are loaded for Mark Teixeira. Teixeira, RBI ground out in the first, single to center in the 4th. Swings at the first pitch and grounds it to Goins. Across the diamond, and Burley works out of trouble. No runs, 2 hits, and the bases left loaded at the end of 4.5. We're halfway through. T scoreboard. It's 3-1 Blue Jays. And it's the top of the order against CC Sabathia. Devin Travis will start it off. And a strike. Travis is 0 for 2, grounded to second, then wrapped into a 6-4-3 double play. Now Roberto Osuna is up in the Blue Jays bullpen. So John Gibbons trying to step in before it gets bad for Mark Burley against the Yanks. Fly ball right center. Good jump by Ellsbury, runs it down for the first out. For all the latest sports news and highlights, including analysis of today's NBA and NHL playoff action, don't miss Fox Sports Live tonight at 11. You can see it on Fox Sports 1, or stay tuned for the simulcast of Fox Sports Live immediately following Yankees coverage right here on Yes. An incredibly busy sports day. We'll hear from Jake Glazer with the latest from Deflategate, Cavs and the Bulls, and the Clippers and the Rockets. Those games will be broken down as well. And Rangers and the Capitals. Should be a great Fox Sports Live. Here's Donaldson. And a strike. Bottom of the fifth inning, 3-1 Blue Jays. One and one. Donaldson struck out in the first and fouled out to Teixeira, leaning over into the camera well to make the out in the third. Two and one.
Both ways there. Toby Basner, close pitch on the inside corner. Not going CC's way.
Two and two.
Getting a little heckling from the Blue Jay dugout. Definitely over the plate.
We'll swipe at the flies there.
Yeah, flies early, right? Nats.
Nats won today. 2-2. Strike three. Donaldson down looking. Fastball inside corner.
Great at bat. You know, Donaldson, the big pickup trade for Brett Laurie from the A's. This guy had MVP numbers last year. I believe, based on the way this series was set up, after Chase Whitley's first night, he went 2 for 4. Attacked him with the fastball. You could tell certain guys when they're sitting pitches look like he was sitting off speed. CC just went right after him. All fastballs. 5 fastballs.
A strike to Bautista. He's walked and popped to second. And 0-2.
Not only the separation of 10, 11, 12 miles an hour, but the break staying away. When CC establishes, like he did to Donaldson, fastballs in, that slow backdoor curveball so effective.
Grounded to Headley. Backhands, sets, and gets Bautista. And a 1-2-3 inning for CC Sabathia and the Yankees. We go to the 6th. It is 3-1 Toronto over the Yankees. We're watching Yankees baseball right here on Yes. Sales and Marketing, who passed away last night at the age of 60. She started with Yes in 2003 and spent all 12 years working as a valued member of the advertising sales department. Donna Jean was a lifelong Yankees fan and the perfect teammate to so many of us here, and she will be profoundly missed. Our hearts go out to her family and friends during this difficult time. We go to the 6th inning. It's the Blue Jays 3 and the Yankees 1. Mark Burley's still in there. Nope, they replaced him. It is Roberto Osuna, so Burley is done after 5 innings. And McCann hits the first pitch to right field. Carrera puts it away. 1 down. The Benjamin Moore scoreboard shows the Blue Jays with a 3-1 lead. Now, if you're the Yankees, say, well, that's tough. We never got a chance to get to Burley. But the bullpen is a weak spot for the Blue Jays, so let's see if they have 12 outs in them.
Yeah, it is. But you know what? We talked about at the beginning of the broadcast, Michael, the numbers against the Yankees, you would just think that the odds were against Burley eventually. I think that's the feeling of John Gibbons, the manager of the Blue Jays. And you look at that, in 20 career starts, he was 1-14 with an ERA of 6.21. Pitched a good game. He had the Yankees off balance. Gave him 5 innings. But you're right about this Blue Jay bullpen has not figured out roles. Who's 7th inning, 8th inning setup guy? Brett Cecil is now their closer.
Ground ball up the middle and just under the glove of Travis, a base hit for Beltran.
Well, sometimes that's all it takes. You see the hot smash past Devin Travis. Nice effort. I got a chance to talk to Carlos Beltran before the game, and says he's fine health-wise. He's good, and working with Jeff Pentland, the hitting coach, and really trying to simplify things. And you hear that often when guys are struggling. Simplify is what? Just hit the ball hard, think center of the field, make good contact. When you're batting under 200. That's where you start. Baby steps.
So 2-0 on Headley, who was 0 for 2 against Burley. They shift for Headley, 3 infielders on the right side. They weren't seeing 95 from Burley. That one fouled away.
Yeah, Roberto Osuna, he has that kind of plus arm. The Blue Jays like him a lot, and I can see why. Earlier in the year, after Brett Cecil lost the closer job, Miguel Castro was their anointed closer, struggled with control, and he's now in AAA.
Burley taken out after just 77 pitches, so he was not done in by the pitch count monster. I think he was just done in by his resume.
You know what? I like what John Gibbons did there. I really do. He came off a tough start in Cleveland. Actually, the last couple he gave up a handful of runs, 8 runs against Cleveland and 4 1/3. And in the previous start against Tampa Bay, he gave up 5. Sometimes, give a guy like that, going into the start, looking at the numbers, Michael, you'd say, if he could give me 5 innings and give up 1 run, I'll take it.
Grounded to first. Encarnacion steps on the bag and gets Beltran in a rundown. And the out is made. So an unconventional double play, but a double play nonetheless. Encarnacion gets the first out. Then they have to tag him. And the eventual tag is made by Travis. Yankees on the Benjamin Moore scoreboard. Encarnacion leads off against CC, and there's a strike. Three infielders on the left side. Now, we saw this in New York where Encarnacion actually went to the right side, picked up a couple singles. Tonight 0 for 1 with a walk.
And we saw Batista in the first game do the same. Go against the shift.
Fly ball center field. Ellsbury will put it away.
Boy, he's close. He's healthy cuts just off the end of the bat. And again, the effectiveness of CC, and I know he's down and the Yankees are down 3-1, but he's made a couple mistakes in this game that's cost him a few runs. See the changeup grip out of his hand, circle, okay, change. The ball is 85, not much less velocity than his fastball, but a guy like an Encarnacion, big healthy cut, he's out in front. That's the difference.
Russell Martin led off the fourth with a single. One of the mistakes that Al's talking about is that CC balked him to second, and then he scored on Colabello's single, so that balk cost him a run.
And the other mistake that I viewed as a mistake, Michael, was in the second inning with Ezekiel Carrera. After he gave up a single and a double, second and third, he gets a line drive out by Ryan Goins, has him two strikes, and just left the curveball up enough. I know it's part of the game. Carrera went to the opposite way, scoring 2 runs.
That one is crushed to left field. See ya. Home run, Russell Martin, 4-1, Toronto.
Well, Russell Martin caught CC Sabathia enough, and I always felt that way when I faced an ex-catcher. He knew my stuff. He saw it as McCann's looking at it. This is a 2-0 fastball mistake. The ball cut. He wanted that ball away. You talk about a guy like Russell Martin certainly having the power to be able to do what he just did, his 7th home run on the year. A careless pitch in a tight ball game. A 2-0 count. Big swing, making this game 4-1 right now.
That one is looped into left field. It's a base hit in front of Young. So Pilar now 2 for 3. Talking about who they should get up in the bullpen. 86 pitches for CC, 1 out into the bottom of the 6th.
Let's go, CC!
Colabello 4 for 6 since being called up before yesterday's game. 2 for 2 today, had 2 for 4 last night. And that's off the glove of a diving Drew, and it trickles into center field. Pilar will go to third. Throw comes into second. Another hit for Colabello, and it's first and third with 1 out.
Well, Colabello making the most of his time in the big leagues here after just getting called up. Double play depth. Stephen Drew pinching a little closer so they could turn the double play. If he was back, maybe makes the play. Hot smash past him. First and third.
So 5 hits and 7 at bats for Colabello. And Esmail Rogers up for the Yanks. And that'll bring up Ryan Goins. 0 for 2 tonight. And that was a safety squeeze. He offered at it, so a strike was called. Difference between a safety and a suicide: the guy at third waits until you bunt it in safety. Suicide, the guy's coming and you have to bunt it.
Well, and also, too, in addition to that, that's right, Michael, you follow, as a runner, you follow whatever your third baseman's doing, you follow down. So long as your third baseman is having to protect the bunt, you can go that far. If he puts it in play, you run. The runner at third base, Kevin Pillar's got plenty of speed. You're banking on that if it's on the ground, he makes it at home. And when you're up, as the Blue Jays are, a 3-run lead, you can be a little bit more aggressive and try a safety squeeze.
(4-1) Blue Jays, and Toronto looking for more here in the bottom of the 6th. Two and two.
Going swinging at a pitch high out of the zone. CC first and third, middle infield back. You're thinking ground ball pitch. Something down in the zone. Rogers is ready. I would have to believe with Carrera on deck, he's going to get at least Carrera.
That one's popped up. Headley makes the play. Runner stay put. That's a big out.
Work, it's battling. It's not the same when pitchers have that ability with plus velocity to make mistakes generally, and left out over the plate. Fastball counts, you can blow by guys. CC's got a pitch.
And a strike. Carrera with a 2-run single in the second, then a fly ball right in the fourth. Blue Jays have 8 hits, the Yankees 7. Blue Jays lead 4-1. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Runner goes from first, swung on and missed. A stolen base for Colabello.
CC just bearing down on Carrera. That last pitch was perfect. Fastball in on his hands. Let's see if he doubles up. Watch the movement here. This is a fastball inside, and it just stays in. And then see the sink down and in. Beautiful pitch.
Strike 3. He gets Carrera looking and works out of further trouble. The home run by Martin gives the Blue Jays a run on 3 hits. 2 runners left. We go to the 7th. 4-1 Toronto. get set with Adam Jones and the Baltimore Orioles. Coverage on Yes starts at 6 with Audi batting practice today. Tri-State 4 pregame, all right here on Yes. Stephen Drew leads off here in the 7th and takes a strike. Osuna starting his 2nd inning of work. Drew's 0 for 2 tonight. Aaron Loop now up. One of 3 lefties in the Blue Jay bullpen, but one of the lefties is their closer, Cecil. 2-1.
You know, you look at the splits of Stephen Drew, and it still doesn't make sense. 333 batting average against left-handed pitchers. Right-handers, 117.
And he walks Drew.
When I say that, obviously, as a left-handed hitter, you want to face a right-hander. You see it better. Breaking balls coming into him. Conversely, left-handers, harder to stay in there. Not for Drew. I guess you include Ellsbury and Gardner as well. They're over 400 against lefties.
Here's Jose Pirela, double and a single. Playing his first big league game this year. If you missed it, he came off the DL officially today and was put on the 25-man roster. And Gregorio Petit was put on the 15-day DL. A hand contusion. No one wants to get hurt, but if you're going to get hurt, the day you're going to be sent down to the minors, that would be the day to get hurt.
So you get, yeah,
Major league meal money, major league salary. One and two. So he's got it heavily wrapped, as you can see. This could be a double play. There's one. And there's two. A 4-6-3 double play.
With the speed of Pirela, it had to be a perfect two-hopper as it was for the Blue Jays to set this up. Pirela scooting down the line. Devin Travis over to Goins. Encarnacion bang bang at first. This is a nice shovel pass by Travis. Strong throw by Goins. Wow.
Just got him. Here's Ellsbury, 1 for 3. Misjudged bloop single in the 5th inning, extended his hitting streak to 9 straight. Struck out in the 1st. Hit one back to the mound in the 3rd that caught Pirela off 2nd. Sliced the other way.
You talk about a significant contrast, Michael. Going from Burley, who didn't throw a ball over 83 miles an hour. Many of his pitches were in the high 70s, to Osuna, who's mid 90s. I think of the good bullpens, and certainly the Yankees are one of them, but there's always a different look or a compliment to other guys that you have out of the pen. And I think of specialty righties that can sink a ball or throw it down low 3/4. You want different looks for this very reason. Sometimes the hitters, it takes them, certainly with a starter, a time or two around the order. Like tonight with the Yankees, they went from Burley at upper 70s, low 80s to right now Osuna.
Skied the other way and makes the seats. Yankees had won 5 straight series coming into this series, trying to keep that alive with a win tonight. This is the rubber game. Reaches out, tries to pull an outside pitch, and grounds it to Travis. And that's it for the Yankees in the 7th. After 6.5, time for the 7th inning stretch. 4-1 Toronto. To start the bottom of the 7th inning. So CC has 96 pitches, and he will face the top of the Blue Jays order. Down 4-1. Travis is 0 for 3. And that's right up the middle. Fielded by Drew. 1 away, 1 pitch, 1 out. All right, tomorrow's starting pitchers brought to you by Verizon Fios, the fastest, most reliable internet. You've got Chris Tillman going for the Orioles, beginning of a 4-game set. Nathan Eovaldi will go for the Yankees. Our coverage on Yes begins at 6. And, of course, first pitch will be right around 7:07 live from the Bronx. I'll be joined in the booth by Ken Singleton and Paul O'Neill. Here's Josh Donaldson, 0 for 3. And a strike. The 0-1. No, listening to Bob and Jack and Kenny, Al, they pretty much summed up an uneven performance by CC. You can't say he's been terrible, and he certainly hasn't been great. Uneven. Hasn't been slapped around.
No, I think that's fair. I mean, you look at really Russell Martin. We mentioned it in the 4th inning with the balk, puts him in runners in scoring position. Cabela gets the big hit. Of course, the home run. Careless, what I would consider careless, Michael. 2-0 fastball. Two guys got power, showing it.
There's a base hit to Donaldson.
But I think it's. I think when. All right, when I look at CC, here's one of the best pitchers in the last 12 years when he's gotten to the big leagues. He's got a Cy Young on the mantle. You know, to watch him, I guess, labor and have to pitch. That's kind of what we're talking about. He's got to be more precise.
Well, again, CC Sabathia will not get a win. Has not had one since April 24th of 2014. So Joe Girardi makes the Verizon call to the bullpen. Sabathia's night is over. Yankees trail 4-1.
take on the hottest sports headlines. Plus, hear interviews with the biggest names in New York sports and beyond. Catch the Michael Kay Show every weekday at 3 o'clock right here on Yes.
So CC Sabathia gives the Yankees 6 1/3. The runner at first is responsibility. Walked 2, struck out 4, gave up 4, and threw 101 pitches. So he now turns it over to Esmail Rogers, who will face Jose Bautista.
And you go over the pitches, Michael. I know we're talking about CC's outing, and there you see Esmail Rogers, good ERA. You know, he's going to go over 2 or 3 moments in the game. And when your offense doesn't score, that's the difference. I mean, that really is the difference in the ballgame. I know the solo home run from Russell Martin kind of separates it even more with the 4-1 score with the Blue Jays. And I get it. That's part of it. But when you're pitching and you know that every single pitch is a consequence, and it's a difference of not only just a run, but in this game maybe a potential loss, it's frustrating. CC has been as good as anybody ever in the last 10 years. He was the top flight pitcher.
Along with Al Leiter and Meredith Morakovitz, I'm Michael Kay. You're watching Yankees baseball on Yes. We thank you for joining us on this Wednesday evening. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning, and the Blue Jays lead the Yankees 4-1 in the rubber game of this 3-game set. Yankees won last night. Blue Jays won the first game. Unless the Yankees rally, this would be just the second time that CC has lost at Rogers Center, and the first time with the Yankees. Fouled away.
What an odd swing here. 1-1 count. This is just a high fastball in and up. He started his swing and tried to check up, but obviously couldn't.
Drew to first, gets Bautista. Donaldson moves to second. Well, with all the Yankees trying to, not all of them, but most of them trying to grow mustaches, you have to give kudos to Esmail Rogers. He might have one of the more impressive ones. That's a mustache. Line drive caught by Headley, and that will do it in the 7th. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. 2 more innings to go. We go to the top of the 8th. Blue Jays 4, Yankees 1. By New York Presbyterian, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Amazing things are happening here. Quick reaction there.
That's why they call it the hot corner. Hot smash. Line shot.
The Yankees have 6 outs to go to make up a 3-run deficit. Osuna still in there for his 3rd inning of work. He'll start with Chris Young. It'll be Young, A-Rod, and Teixeira. Hyundai scoreboard 4-1 Blue Jays. Foul back. The 0-1. Had him played beautifully. Travis shades up the middle. And that's right where Young hit it. 1 out. So John Gibbons has to like what Osuna did. And with A-Rod coming up, he's going to call to the bullpen. Yankees down 4-1. 1 out in the 8th. Stick around.
I'll tell you what, he really dazzled in a way of not throwing a whole lot of hard fastballs. He threw into upper Sableys. You see Pirela getting caught in the rundown. 5 innings, 6 hits, 1 run. Locking up Chris Young. His 3 strikeouts. Nice job by Mark Burley, the T-Mobile game changer.
If the bullpen does its job, Burley will have his first win against the Yankees since April 10th of 2004.
Unbelievable.
Here's Aaron Luke. Don't quite get this move here, Al. Why are you bringing in Luke to face A-Rod when you've got a hard-throwing right-hander?
Who was dominating.
That is a little strange. That's the move that John Gibbons makes. And a strike. A-Rod doubled in the first, grounded back to the mound, and walked. And there's nothing in the past performance that would lead you to believe this is the move to make. A-Rod's had just 2 at-bats against Luke with 1 hit.
Yeah, and for the year, Michael, against left-handers, Alex is bet 179. Right-handers coming into tonight's game 250. Still doesn't make sense to me.
Well, now it does.
Well, here it is, an 0-2 pitch, a fastball by Alex, inside corner by him. Just beat him. And I guess when I say that, 27 pitches, you mentioned Osuna did a heck of a job, the 2 1/3 innings. And conventional thinking is right on right, left on left, with a guy who was pitching well.
Probably stretched him. He was going to bring in Luke no matter what, but he stretched him for the one more batter because Chris Young is so much of a better hitter against lefties than he is against righties. One and two. Osuna finished with 27 pitches. 2 1/3 scoreless innings in relief of Burley. Yankees scored a run on Monday, and so far a run tonight. They did have 6 last night. And the 2-2. Teixeira skips a little rope. And the payoff. He walked him. So 1 on 2 outs, and that'll bring up Brian McCann. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. McCann 0 for 3 tonight. And the pitch outside from Luke. One pitch away from bringing up Beltran as the tying run. There's a strike. 3-1. So that's going to release Teixeira at first. 3-2 and 2 outs. Joe Girardi pointing to something in center field.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a light. Yeah, there's little laser lights, but it's right a little bit left center of the batter's eye. Somebody's shining a light.
Joe, he says he's good.
Right here, Michael. There's somebody right here that keeps shining a little light. The guy in the black shirt.
Rounded up the middle. And that will do it. In the 8th, no runs, no hits, 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Try one of the new oven-fired artisan flatbread sandwiches. Wimpy, America's Sub Shop. By People's United Bank NA, where our know-how starts with knowing you. And by your Tri-Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on the 2015 models. Beautiful night here in Toronto, but for the Yankees, not too good here at Rogers Center as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Yankees are down 4-1 to the Blue Jays. Esmail Rogers came on to get the final 2 outs of the 7th in relief of Sabathia. Russell Martin leads off. The Hyundai scoreboard shows the Blue Jays with a 4-1 lead. Chasen Shreve is up for the Yankees in their bullpen, and Brett Cecil warming for the Blue Jays in their pen. Russell Martin 2 for 3 against CC with 2 runs scored. Hit a home run his last time up. Signed to a big free agent contract during the offseason. Obviously for what he could do on the field. Also, they felt that he'd be the type of leader they need in that clubhouse. He had been that, obviously, for the last couple of years with the Pirates.
Five-year deal, Canadian-born, gamer, like the grit. All the reasons why Dodgers, Pirates, Yankees, you like those type of players, the Josh Donaldsons, Kevin Pillar.
He's actually born here in Toronto and raised in Montreal. And he got a huge ovation when the Blue Jays played the 2 games at Olympic Stadium. His dad, also a saxophonist, played the national anthem on the sax. And that's why Russell has the middle name of Coltrane. John Coltrane. Line drive to right field. A base hit for Martin. He's 3 for 4. Very emotional scene when his father played the anthem. And this was in Montreal. That's got to give you chills. Russell's beard seems to have gotten a little bit more red since then. Here's Pillar. This could be 2. There's 1. And there's 2. 6-4-3. So 2 down, and that brings up Colabello. Russell getting congratulations on a 3-hit night. Colabello has a 3-hit night. Double and 2 singles. Run scored, stolen base, RBI, a full line. Foul ball.
You talk about making the most of your opportunity, Michael. 7-14 since Colabello's been called up. AAA, long time, had a little cup of coffee with Minnesota and then Detroit last year. Good story.
The 0-1. 0-2. And if you're scouting the Blue Jays, you're supposed to scout the whole system, but they're not scouting AAA Buffalo as closely as they are the Blue Jays, and all of a sudden he gets called up right before the Yankee series, so they probably don't have as much of a book on him as they have on the other guys.
Well, that's true, and look, there's a reason why he's been mostly a 4A player. Once you exploit a weakness, that's what Major League pitchers do. They do it well. They do better than anywhere in the world. But when you have a guy, and I don't care if he's in AAA or not, as hot as Colabella has been in Buffalo.
He hit 337 in 18 games.
You know, that's a guy who's hot. Now, granted, it's facing AAA pitchers, but he's had a good 2 games here against the Yankees.
The 0-2. 1-2. Fastball's high, 2-2. 4 runs on 10 hits for the Blue Jays, 1 run on 7 hits for the Yankees. If you want to look ahead to the 9th inning for the Yankees, it's Beltran, Headley, and Drew, and then Perella after that. Colabello staying alive.
Spoiling the good pitches. Good slider down the way from Rogers. Every at bat. It's a battle.
That's a 4-hit night for Colabello. 6 hits in 2 games in 8 at bats against the Yanks. And Joe Girardi with Goins coming up is going to go to the bullpen and call on Chasen Shreve. So Esmail Rogers is done. Shreve against Goins when we get back. Curry and Ken Singleton recap the series finale in Toronto, including clubhouse reaction and Joe Girardi's manager's report. Meredith Marakovich will work the clubhouse. It's all coming up right here on Yes. So Chasen Shreve gets the call. And those are his numbers. This will be his 8th game.
Shreve's last appearance was 8 days ago in Tampa Bay, where he went 2 innings, gave up a run. Plenty of rest.
Now for Colabello, first career 4-hit game, and we looked into it further, Al. Buffalo has yet to play Scranton Wilkes-Barre, so they probably don't have a book on him at all. They're not scouting AAA at this point. The 1-0. That one is hammered into right center. It gets past Beltran and it goes to the wall. Colabello rounds third. He'll score easily. Goins is at third with a stand-up triple, an RBI, and a 5-1 Toronto lead.
Oh, Goins didn't waste any time here. Curveball, I see middle of the plate. Not where he wanted it. Brian McCann setting up away. Goins splitting the upright past Carlos Beltran. That ball getting all the way to the wall. Goins speed plenty enough to get to third base. Colabello scoring the 5th run for the Blue Jays.
Pitch to Carrera is a strike. Yankees in at the corners. With a right fielder batting 9th. He had a 2-run single in the 2nd. Fly to right in the 4th and struck out looking in the 6th. One and one. One and two. The Goins triple, the 12th hit for Toronto. Did he go? No, said Ed Hickox. And the pitch. Now 3-2.
Pereira laying off the slider from Shreve.
And the payoff. Swing and a miss. He gets him. That'll do it. But an insurance run for the Blue Jays. 1 run on 3 hits. 1 man left. And the Yankees rally in the 9th. They're down 5-1.
Russell Martin, ex-teammate of CC Sabathia's 7th home run on the season. At the time, the game was 3-1. That made it 4-1. Russell Martin, how about that? Yesterday, 3-4 with a home run, and tonight, home run.
Brett Cecil comes on to pitch the 9th inning, and he starts Beltran off with a strike. Justin Smoke takes over for Encarnacion at first. Grounded to third. Fielded deep by Donaldson. A long, hard throw gets Beltran for the first out. Donaldson's got some arm.
And range. He's very good at third base. Several years with the Oakland A's. You see him once he gets set. Firm throw across the diamond. This is a nice play. Strike to Justin Smoke.
Here's Chase Headley. There's a strike. Those are the numbers on Cecil. He saved Monday's win. Had the closer role out of spring training. Lost it in the first series against the Yankees, but has since regained it. One and two. Not a save situation for Cecil. Line drive and caught on one hop by Goins. He throws to first. What a play by the Blue Jays shortstop. You can put a star next to that in the book. That's just an outstanding play. On grass, it would be great. On artificial turf, wow.
Yeah, he's done that this whole series. We've seen about 3 or 4 great plays. The ball is behind him from left field and then uses the AstroTurf to get the ball across the diamond. Nice play. Hot smash. Snags it. Great play.
Yankees down to their final out. Here's Stephen Drew 0 for 2 with a walk. Missed outside. And he checks his swing according to Hickox. The 1-0. 2-0. Drew walked in the 7th inning. Reno. And he walked Stephen Drew on 4 pitches as the Yankees have life.
Yeah, that's one of those things. A pitching coach and manager goes a little crazy. Get 2 outs and you walk a 8th batter on 4 pitches.
So here's Jose Pirela 2 for 3. Double, single, and a double play ground ball. Smoke not holding Drew on at first. That run means nothing. One and one. Cecil deals. That one gets away from Martin as Drew goes to second. It's got to be a pass ball.
Yeah, let's see if this hits the ground. Curveball down in the zone. The swing, yeah, it just hit off the end of Russell Martin's glove. That's a pass ball.
Crowd of 21,312. Most standing. That one's bounced up there.
See if this gets Russell Martin in the jaw. That was a 59-footer. Yeah, it did. Got him in the neck.
And misses, ball in the dirt. Martin tosses it to Smoke, and the Blue Jays win this one by a score of 5-1. And they've hit 2 out of 3 from the Yankees, which stops the Yankees' 5-series winning streak. Big night for Russell Martin, big night for Colabello, and a really big night for Mark Buehrle as he finally beats the New York Yankees for the first time since April 10th of 2004. First time he's ever beaten CC head-to-head. Now let's go back to the studio. Bob Lorenz, Jack Curry, and Ken Singleton will map it out for the rest of the night.